From the Chatterbox Sports Studio in Hamilton, Ohio, this is Not Too Picky with Paul Fritchner.
It's Not Too Picky with Paul Fritchner, and today, for the entire time, it is with Reed Mouse, and over here to my right, it is with Casey McAllister as well. Great to be with you guys on a Monday. It would have been a little bit better if the Bengals could have pulled it off at the end last night.
That was tough. That was tough. But, you know, we got Penn Station signs up there on the producer's desk. And look at Casey. He's playing two pianos at the same time. The dude is talented over there.
Dueling pianos that is covered by our Penn Station sponsorship.
Yeah.
I don't know if Penn Station directly sponsors our show, but at least for today, they do. All right, let's get into the weekend. We're going to start with FC Cincinnati quickly before we get into your picks. FC Cincinnati. We talked so much about him. We had the voice of FC Cincinnati, Tommy G, on the show on Thursday. And guess what? They get it done yesterday. It was never in doubt. Win going away. They blew out DC United. Congratulations to FC Cincinnati. They get to the postseason for the first time in club history. Great for them and great for the city. I know, especially with the Bengals loss yesterday, there's some overlap in the fans. Great for FC Cincinnati to get to the postseason.
Are you guys going to TQL for the is it at home?
It's at Red Bull Arena. It's not.
You guys going to the pitch for the game?
You know what's funny is I'll actually be in New York next week, but I'll miss the match by I think a day. I'm only there for a day.
Well, you'll get the victory lap after they win.
Absolutely. Casey, before we get into to football, let's stick with football for a second. FC Cincinnati. I'll give you a second. Go.
Let's go, FCC.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
You know what they did?
Let's
That's
go.
a hard-hitting analysis there from Casey.
I mean, 4 goals in the first half. Let's go. They wanted that game. They got that game.
They did.
It's like a goal.
Secured their spot.
Every 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was quick. Oof. Yeah, minus 140 is what they closed at. They actually opened at plus money, and they closed at minus 140. So congrats to anybody that got on that line early last week.
And that's on the three-way line?
Yeah. Yeah. In soccer, you have to bet on one team or the other, or they add in the option for a draw. So, yeah, a 3-way money line in FC Cincinnati, minus 140 winners. Reed, you were going to say something before we get into football? You were about to say something?
No.
Okay. Let's go. All right, let's rock into football. Let's take all the way back to Thursday. Let's go all the way back. Let's turn those memory gears back to Thursday night. And whatever kind of a disaster we watched that we said on this show was going to happen, it happened. And it was one of those things where it was so bad. I texted you during the game about this. It was so bad that it's terrible, and then you think it's terrible, and you start laughing about how terrible it is. And then all of a sudden, you're laughing so hard by the end of the fourth quarter that you're rooting for overtime just because of how terrible the game was. And then you're hoping that the game ends in a tie.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping.
Well,
for.
like it likens to like beating a dead horse with an inside joke. You know, me and Paul, Casey, we all have a lot of inside jokes, and when you start one, it's funny at first, and then you keep beating it. You keep beating that dead horse, and everyone just starts moaning and groaning like, "Oh, that's pretty tired. That's a pretty tired joke."
Yeah.
And then you just keep on withering the storm and keep throwing that joke out there that eventually it becomes hilarious again. And that's what happened in that game. I mean, it was so bad. We've seen so many bad games on primetime. And letting Russ cook, Broncos country, let's ride. It was so terrible. By the way, the funniest thing that has happened is we're just doing this, and I'm trying to keep this going.
Listen, I'm just trying to help you out because I don't want any bad audio, and I just.
Are you telling me just to hold it like this?
No, there's something going on with that cable. It's doing that buzzing again, but I can't.
So you just had me on for nothing. So if you're listening,
is this a good opportunity to break up the structure? I think it's a good time.
Yes. So I made a pyramid of success for Not Too Picky, and it is based on Casey. You can bring it on up there. This is the pyramid of success. How we get this show to grow. It's got to be structure at the base, sound bites in the middle, and then you got to sprinkle in the stupidity, and this is taking the top of the pyramid right now.
I don't know what is going on here. I don't know what we were trying to accomplish by me holding this microphone.
Oh, you'll hear it later on.
But somehow I ended up with a microphone in my hand. Casey, what were we doing?
The best is I'm seeing Casey out of the corner of my eye trying to tell Paul what to do, and I'm just trying to beat through whatever happened on Thursday. This is what Russell Wilson and Matt Ryan have done to us. We have just become off the rails here.
Casey, what was this supposed to accomplish?
All I wanted was for you to unplug the XLR and then like plug it back in, but you just started going like unscrewing it.
You had your microphone standing all the way up, so I thought you wanted me to replace the two microphones.
No, well, we can do that maybe.
No, we don't need to do that.
Screw it
I'll
back
just
in.
Screw it back on. Okay, take us home on Thursday night before we get into the weekend.
Ooh, well, you were right first off about the under, as you always are, because you're a smart bettor. Well, I had a good weekend, but I'll tell you what, I looked at that line and I just couldn't make anything, so I crafted a teaser. There was 4 ways to craft that teaser, so you can go either side, or you go with the over-under. And out of the 4 ways you could craft that teaser, 3 of them hit. 1 of them did not, and that was the teaser I took.
You gotta keep talking.
I got you. Keep talking. You screw that microphone in. I'll just take the show, take the reins. But, oh, man, I will say, the only thing that is funnier than what has happened on this show to begin this is the fact that Russell Wilson, like a obsessive compulsive disorder, felt the need to end his press conference by saying very sheepishly, Broncos country, let's ride.
How do you look at yourself in the mirror when you go home at night and you think to yourself, that's a good idea, that I'm basically making fun of what I'm doing out here?
Yeah.
How do you think that that's a good idea? In what world is that a good idea?
Like I said, I think like it almost seems OCD. Like it was, he didn't want to say it, but like his body made him do it.
It did.
Like his brain was like, no, don't do this. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't do this. He's like, Broncos country.
Let's ride. Your weekend was fantastic.
Oh, baby. I mean,
if you don't follow us yet on TikTok or Twitter or Instagram or any of those various social medias, we are on there. Not Too Picky on all of them. Sometimes it's spelled a little differently, but it's all, if you just look up Not Too Picky on all 3, you'll find it. 6-0-1.
6-0-1. And I'll tell you what.
You didn't give the books any money this weekend.
No, they didn't. They didn't get a single
Didn't
dime
get a
from me.
dime.
Not a dime from me. Because you know what? Because we just win bets over. I listen. Paul asked me. He's like, hey, let's get something out on the TikTok. Send me a video. And the first thing that came into my mind was, how douchey of a video could I send there? And I achieved it. And I'm gonna keep riding it, because you know what? If I keep winning bets, it's gonna get worse and worse. But here's your chance, guys. Get on the Not Too Picky picks, or else you're just gonna start losing. You're gonna be missing.
You're gonna be missing out on opportunities.
Money.
The one thing I did say was I missed out on the opportunity with the Bengals last night. I said this is going to come down to a field goal game where you have 2 of the best kickers in the league, probably the 2 best kickers in the league. Well, certainly one, the best kicker of all time, and then Evan McPherson, who I would argue probably is number 2 in the league kicking right now. So the 2 best kickers in the league, probably going to come down to a field goal difference type of game. You just had that field going into it, but for some reason, I still took the Bengals on the money line, and surrendered those points that Vegas was oh so graciously giving us. And because of that, I am now poorer and not richer.
Now,
if I had just listened to myself.
Here's a question. If you're on the side of a bet and you're currently in the money on your side.
Yes.
But the other team has 1 ball, 1 chance, 1 drive, game-winning drive. They need a field goal, just like we happened last night. You're in the money. And they need a game-winning drive. There are a few people I would want to see on that other team than Justin Tucker. Like, I'm talking like there's like 2 guys. Like, it's like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and then like the third guy I don't want to see on that other team is Justin Tucker, because they get the ball, it was a touchback, so it starts at the 20 or is it 25? I forget nowadays. But I mean, two first downs in there in field goal range with Justin Tucker, and he's money.
Yep,
he's
he
money.
is. As soon as the ball crosses midfield, you feel like that game is over.
Yeah, it was. I looked at the live line last night. The Bengals have the lead. The Ravens just crossed midfield, and they had the live money line was like minus 1,000 for the Ravens.
Yeah, that's because the greatest kicker of all time is on the other sideline.
But man, we won some money over the weekend.
We did win some money over the weekend. But Reed, there are some people that didn't win some money over the weekend.
Did Chris fade me?
No, I don't think he did. He said he texted me and he said, I know I'm getting a shout out tomorrow on the pod. I don't think he did fade you, but there are some people that didn't win some money. And for that reason, there is Monday misery. And these two both come from Thursday night. Here's the first one. Bring it up here. We got a lot going on here. So we have the Broncos -3. That's tough enough.
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton for the Denver Broncos to score one or more touchdowns against the Colts. Nyheim Hines to score a touchdown against the Colts. Now, Nyheim Hines, he got hurt on what, the third play of the game?
Yeah, the first drive.
This appears to be from some type of offshore, unregulated type of book, I'm guessing, which tells me that you're probably not going to get the refund on this bet that a lot of the regulated sports books are getting. Nyheim Hines killing that parlay that would have paid $131 to win. And then, of course, the over-under. The over-under hits at under 42. But Nyheim Hines just killing everybody that had him. And Mike and I on
there wasn't a single touchdown scored in there. So that parlay was done anyways.
Yeah.
Because Cortland Sutton didn't score.
Yeah, no, there were no touchdowns in the whole game, which leads us to our second one. $85. $85
to win 42 cents.
To win 42 cents that a touchdown would be scored in the game, and not one touchdown was scored in the game.
So if you have a first touchdown scorer bet, does that get refunded if there's no touchdown scored? Is that a push?
You know, that's a good question. I was thinking about that because books do offer no touchdown.
No touchdown.
Scored.
You're right.
So in my mind, I've never looked at it. I've never bet a first touchdown score and then not had a first touchdown happen.
Yeah.
I've never bet a first touchdown score in a game where there was no touchdown. Better way to say it. So that's a good question. And one I should know the answer to, but I'm here to be honest with all of you, and I don't know the answer.
That's tough.
Okay.
No, I don't know that, but I'll tell you one thing. You know, we talk often about bets and how you never give up your ground. You're like, oh, we can win this bet until it's absolutely dead. So I had that teaser, which was Colts plus 9.5, and then the over of 36. And I kept looking at myself, looking at the score, and just be like, oh, I just need a touchdown, because 36 isn't a lot of points. A whole lot of points, and I kept fooling myself into thinking like, oh, they go down and score right here, and then just a re-answer, 14 points in a couple of minutes, and we're right back in this thing. And they could have played 16 quarters, and I don't think they would have gotten to 36 points.
No, that was a truly terrible, awful, no good, very bad football game.
This is bad.
On Thursday night. All right, it's a quick show today. It's just Reed and I. There's really not a whole lot going on this week leading into Saturday. Saturday's college football slate has some good games, but not as it pertains to this area. Ohio State has a bye week this week. Cincinnati has a bye week this week. Miami Oxford is out of town, and I think the Bengals are out of town too. They're in New Orleans. Kind of a quiet week for football in Southwest Ohio. Second to last week of high school football is this week, but Kentucky, they are +7 against Mississippi State. They're at home this week.
Is Levis hurt?
So he did not play on Saturday. I have not seen yet today what his status is for this Saturday's game. I'm sure we probably won't find out about that till later on in the week. But that is why we're saving a lot of our picks and everything. We're going to get into way more on Thursday's show. We have one order of business today, and I said, go ahead.
Wait, we didn't talk about our bets.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so if you missed Thursday's show, we picked a team for the postseason for Major League Baseball.
Not great, Bob.
We settled on the Mets at +900.
So, can we talk this through?
I need a therapy session.
Yeah, can we talk this through? Because the reason we picked the Mets is, we didn't want to bet big money on the lower odds people, right?
No.
I mean, that's the only way it's profitable. So we took a long shot, and that was by far the best long shot. 9-1 odds. They had good pitching. They were a 100-win team. Yeah, Max
on
Scherzer,
paper they had good pitching.
Right, Max Scherzer getting booed is a bad look in New York.
Yeah, said it was one of the lowest points of his career. The lowest of lows. The Mets.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And,
It's not like pitching.
At least we didn't get swept.
It's not like pitching's ever failed the Mets before.
No.
Wow, what a just.
So we're going to reconvene.
Do we want to do it
and
right
ride
now? Let's
somebody
do it again.
else.
I mean, we got to pick somebody before the division
Okay.
series. Let's
Yeah,
do
it
it again.
starts tomorrow, right?
All right, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it right now live. All right. So here on Not Too Picky, we're going to have to pick a World Series winner. We're going to do it with some value. We're going to pick somebody with decent enough odds, not just the favorite of the Dodgers. We're not going to pick the Astros out of the American League. We're going to pick somebody with a little longer odds. Let's do it, Reed Mouse. Who do we want to pick? My original pick was the Mariners out of the American League, a fun team. They were the second longest odds. Phillies look great over the weekend.
Yeah, Phillies plus 1,200. We got Guardians with the lowest odds. They're the long
Still
shots.
the longest at plus 1,900.
Padres plus 1,100.
Padres have the Dodgers, though.
Yeah, that is true.
Phillies could.
What are the Braves?
Braves are plus 450. No, sorry, I'm vetoing that.
Vetoing the Braves.
Vetoing the Braves. You get
Gotta
one
know
veto from DC. I was a Nats fan. I've been I've been a Nats fan since they've been in DC.
That is a long rivalry. It's been long standing.
2005. A lot of history. A lot of established history between the Braves and the Nationals.
Yeah. But you bet on the Mets.
I said I would do whatever this show decided to do collectively.
We gonna root for Dusty?
We're going long. I'm willing to.
I picked the Mets. You give me one.
All right. Well, see, I have two options.
And you get 2 sentences to sell me on it.
Okay, I have 2 options here out of the NL East. So that leaves me out of the NL West. My only National League option is the Padres, unless I put aside. I like Bryce Harper.
Let's let the baseball whiz.
There's nobody in this room that knows more about the sport of baseball than my producer, Casey McCollister. So, Casey, I want you to make the pick. Who is our next World Series team, Casey?
Do you need the teams?
Do you need to know who's even in it?
Give me the teams real quick.
All right, there's 8.
There's 8.
Okay.
You tell us when to stop.
The Dodgers, the Astros, the Braves, the Yankees, the Padres, the Phillies. I'm running out of time here. The Mariners or the Guardians.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the
reaction.
We need it. I'm doing whatever you say right now.
Mariners. Let's go.
No!
Mariners. He likes the West Coast Reds.
Love the Mariners. West Coast Reds. Love that pick. All right, Mariners were in 14-1.
Aren't they a low budget team too?
They are.
Low market team. I'm sorry.
Look at Casey.
Low market
he
team.
knows.
And you know what? They do pretty well in the playoffs, right? Like
Nope.
no.
They haven't
They
been. They hadn't been to the postseason
Been
in
in a long time.
21 years.
21 years. Who am I thinking of then? Am I thinking of a different?
Athletics, maybe.
No.
They're also on the
Rays?
West Coast.
Rays.
It's the Rays.
Oh.
It's the Rays. But still, I like the Mariners.
Mariners. I'm in.
I like the
I'm
Mariners.
sold.
All right, we're in on the Mariners. 14-1. Book it.
Book it.
Now.
Isn't a couple Reds on there too?
3.
3.
See, I know, guys. I know baseball.
There are
very
3
well.
Reds that you would know too. Like
Castillo.
Luis Castillo.
Oh!
Yes. This
Wait,
guy.
hold on. Can we go 3 for 3? Luis Castillo. Who are the other 2? I'll give you the initials.
Is it another pitcher?
No,
No.
both position players.
Both position players. JW. Oh, I heard it.
Winker.
Yeah, Winker.
Yeah, Winker.
Now one more.
I had to give one of these.
All right, one
ES.
more. Yes. Can you give me a hint on position?
Third base.
Does that help?
Hispanic.
Nah.
Eugenio Suarez. There we go.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
He had the last name.
Give us the
He was
Mariners.
there.
All right.
Mariners win. Last thing before we get out of here on a quick show today. Also, the chat has been insanely hot. I don't think we have. Wait, do we have anybody? Oh, Lizzie's watching. My girlfriend Lizzie's watching. Maybe, hey, Lizzie, if you're still watching the show,
Thought your cheeks are red for a reason.
She can be our chat pick for today.
What do you got for us,
By the
Lizzie?
way, the chat is on a 5-pick winning streak right now. Okay. Last
pressure, Lizzie.
Last thing for today is Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, we have pull up the graphic here, Casey. We have the Chiefs and the Raiders. This game is on ESPN, 8:15. Joe Buck calling this game. As weird as that sounds, on ESPN. Still getting used to that. The Raiders, 1-3 on the season. Chiefs at 3-1. Chiefs by 7.5 when I put this into the graphic earlier. It is now down, I believe, to 7, which in my mind does make a little difference.
Big difference.
But
It would still be a push if it came down to it.
I'm thinking this one through. If I wanted to change it, I don't think I do. Kansas City, it is Kansas City -7 right now. The over/under has also dropped. It's now at 51.5. Go ahead, Reed.
Listen, we've talked about my system that I've created here before, and it's a lot of mechanical machines. There's some levers. There's some pulley systems that pick out.
It's an illustrious system,
right?
That
It
put
is.
together.
It is
an in-depth formula.
It is right. No, there's algorithms. It is mechanical and computerized. I don't know the technology based, but it comes out and eventually it brings out a ping pong ball, and that's how I pick the picks that just keep firing all cylinders, keep winning. It's my system, and the system likes the Las Vegas Raiders so much. I mean, just loves them. And the system is humble, so I'm probably putting them on the edge a little bit. But I'm taking the Raiders. I already booked it at 7.5 this morning.
Love it.
I already booked it at 6, so I got the hook.
All right. I'm in with you. This game is kind of weird. I think there are going to be a lot of points scored. The one thing I would look at for the Chiefs is their team total, which I need to recheck. But I do like the Chiefs team total in this game because I think that this has the potential to be on the higher scoring end. 52 is a lot of points. I think if the Raiders win, that means that this probably goes over. I'm still looking for the team total here. There are a million lines to try and find it on this website. I don't know if they've updated it here recently. I should have written this down right before we went on. Excuse me. I don't see it updated here, the team total for the Chiefs. It looks like it's somewhere in the 20. I don't see it. I don't want to give out a wrong number if I don't have it. But
what are you feeling? You're
I would say if that team total number, and I could be off because it's moved a little bit. If the team total is around, here it is. Nope, I had it wrong.
Hell yeah.
This is
good TV.
Absolutely
This is good TV.
Electric, entertaining podcasting right here. If this wasn't live, I'd be cutting this out. I'm going to cut this out of the podcast. Let's see here. How long does it take a gambler to find a team total?
By the way, have you noticed? I showed you this morning. I think because of the integration
this
process
is so
of
stupid.
Of DraftKings earlier.
Yeah.
It's not actively updating. Like I still had odds from Saturday's NCAA football this morning, which if I could still bet on those, I'd bat 1,000%.
Okay, I am vetoing our one chat pick of the Raiders money line. If we're doing that, we're at least taking the points.
Was that Lizzie?
Yeah, we're taking. No. I'm telling you right now, we're going to go back.
That's the one. That's the one.
Listen, she will never let it down.
Right.
But if they cover, we can at least get the 7 that we still win either way.
So
but you don't get paid out as much. What are the odds for the money line? Lizzie's going for gold.
We have a 5-pick winning streak right here, and we're going to put it on the right shoulder of Derek Carr.
It sounds like you are
at Arrowhead.
Derek Carr's underrated.
And so's Devontae Adams with him.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time that the best wide receiver coming into Arrowhead was on the other team?
Plus 275.
I would have liked to hear at least 3. 275, sure. Sprinkle it. I'm taking the Raiders. Why not sprinkle the money line?
Yeah, Raiders right now plus 7, minus 106. All right. I still have not found the team total here. I don't understand why this is so hard. Why is this so hard to find? I'm cutting all of this out of the podcast edit.
Casey.
Yeah.
Are we going to sprinkle this money line? Just a little bit, right?
Just a tiny bit.
Just
Just
a little.
A pinch. A pinch. That's what I gave you.
Sprinkle.
Okay.
I'm going with Lizzie.
I trust her.
I trust her. It sounds
Raider-
like you don't. There's
You
some
know-
trust issues in this relationship.
Hang on. Lizzie is in a relationship with a hot whiz when it comes to sports
Did you just call
betting.
Paul hot?
I think you just called me a hot whiz.
Her boyfriend?
Yeah.
A hot whiz?
You called him hot. I don't know.
Hot whiz when it comes to sports betting.
Oh, here we go. Raiders team total 21.5.
Wow, Lizzie found it faster than you.
That I can get behind. As long as that's what. Oh, wait. She found it? Oh, wait. Is that the pick? She found 21.5 for the Raiders and 30.5 for the Chiefs as their team totals. 30. I think I like one of those. Lizzie, pick one of those, and we'll go with it for the chat pick. Pick the Raiders or the Chiefs there, and we'll make that our chat pick because we're already picking a side here. So we'll give it a little differently. I don't like how we've done the last 4 shows where we have gone on the same. Our chat pick, our guest pick, and our pick have all been the same.
But they've been hitting.
They've been hitting, but
They're good picks.
We're putting a lot of stress. It's like when you build a bridge, right? And you put everything.
We're not diversifying our portfolio.
No,
She picked Raiders.
Raiders team total over 21.5. The Raiders. Look, if the Raiders team total over 21.5. Thank you, Lizzie. That is our chat pick for the day. If the Raiders keep this close and cover the 7, I feel pretty good about the team total at 21.5. This is going to Arrowhead. Root for the points. I like it. I'm sold. Great pick, Lizzie. Thanks for listening to the show. She has a day off of school today.
You got bullied by Paul.
She has a day off.
Got bullied by,
No, I
by
didn't.
Paul by that pick. But
She was handing us the Raiders money line. We could have at least taken the points. Now we get some points to cheer for.
I liked her original. I'm a sprinkle her original. I'm a sprinkle.
I'll toss it in a TikTok if it hits.
I'll sprinkle.
21.5. Okay, so we have the Raiders plus 7 tonight. We have the chat pick is the team total for the Raiders over 21.5. So we're
the Raiders.
going to need at least 4 scores from the Raiders. We love the Raiders on the road at Arrowhead tonight.
That seems golden. I don't see why there would be anything wrong with that.
All right, perfect. We will be back on Thursday. Big show ahead of us on Thursday to get you set for the weekend. Notre Dame has Stanford at home this weekend. I'll be up there. That'll be night game up in South Bend. And then the Bengals will be down in New Orleans. All of that on Thursday's show. Make sure to follow us on all the social media, and we'll see you right back here on Thursday. The Raiders.
The Raiders.
See you Thursday.